How old were you when you wrote the Power book?
I was 38 years old. That's when I started it.
What caused it to catch on in the way that it did?
I'm very, very lucky because I think it came out at the right time. You know, things beyond my control. But the fact that it's kind of extreme and kind of stands out there, it's not like other books, which was very conscious on my part, kind of gave it some legs. It caught on to certain cultures. So the music business was one of the first, believe it or not.
Hip hop in particular.
Hip hop.
Why do you think?
Well, there were managers. I don't know if you remember Chris Lighty.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, Chris told me that one of his bosses had found the book just when it came out. He kind of looked in the corner of his eye and he caught his eye and he kind of stole the book and read it himself. And the idea was, I mean, his boss was white, but the idea was that hip hop was at this moment, kind of Tupac was sort of foreshadowing it, where we want to take control of our music, of our future, of the money that's coming in. We don't want to be slaves, literally. No, not literally, but metaphorically. And so, you know, I remember 50 telling me that when he got into the music business after the book had come out, like in the early 2000s, you know, he dealt with everything you can imagine on the streets, including being shot, but nothing prepared him for the music business. It was like, on the street, if somebody hated you, you knew it, and you knew you better protect yourself.
And if someone gives you your word, they mean it.
Yeah. But the music business, people are smiling, they're saying this, they promise that and the other, but they don't mean any of it. It was like a puzzle that he couldn't figure out, and it drove him crazy. And he said the book gave him like a roadmap to kind of understanding and controlling himself and figuring things out. And so it kind of got in that way. I think hip hop really helped it and gave it a big push. People like Jay-Z started quoting it. And that kind of lit a little bit of a fire, because I don't think the Wall Street crowd would have ever given it that kind of popular culture type taboo element. Hip hop had that slight renegade, rebellious aspect to it that kind of gave the book that aspect, which I think excited a lot of young men because they're the primary readers of the book, to be honest. And so slowly, by word of mouth, by notoriety, it's selling now much more than it ever has in the past. You know, I don't know, I'm kind of humbled by that. I never expected it to have this kind of success. But I think the slight naughtiness of it attracts a lot of young men, but also it's kind of realistic in a way.
It doesn't sugarcoat what it talks about.
Yeah. And so in a culture where people sugarcoat everything, I think it made it stand out and still sort of stands out.